Anthropic just turned on invisible watermarks across every Claude model worldwide, and Reddit noticed within hours. Since August 2nd, anything Claude generates carries a machine-readable signal baked into the actual word choices, not metadata, not a stamp you can strip by copy-pasting. It's driven by the EU AI Act, but Anthropic applied it globally instead of just geofencing Europe. Today, we're breaking down how the watermark actually works, why it can't tell Claude wrote this from Claude fixed 3 typos in my own draft, and why a research paper already showed attackers can strip it anyway. All right, let's go.
So imagine buying a new premium software tool for your business, right? But eventually, you discover that every time you draft a proposal, the software is subtly shifting the invisible spaces between your words.
Yeah, it's basically creating a hidden barcode in your documents.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Tracing everything you write directly back to the manufacturer.
Which creates a massive friction point for anyone trying to maintain ownership over their workflow.
Yeah.
I mean, suddenly, a tool you thought was operating securely on your behalf is attaching a permanent tracking signal to your proprietary data.
It's wild. So today, we are doing a deep dive into the source material, covering exactly this tension. We've pulled a stack of, Anthropic's recent developer updates, some heated Reddit threads from solo creators, and a couple of brand new cybersecurity research papers.
Right, because as of August 2026, Anthropic globally activated mandatory invisible watermarks on all Claude outputs.
And our mission today is to figure out why they did this and why it's causing such a massive backlash among small business owners. So, where did this even start?
Well, the initial push really came from compliance with the EU AI Act. But what's interesting is Anthropic didn't actually geographically restrict it. They just cast this live dragnet globally across Claude's entire platform, its API, cloud services, all of it.
But wait, if this is driven by European regulation, why are solo creators in the US or Asia suddenly having their workflows flagged?
Honestly, because from a technical and operational standpoint, maintaining separate regional systems for underlying AI architecture is just incredibly messy. It is much easier for Anthropic to just bake the watermark into the core model for everyone, everywhere.
Okay, so if it's baked in, how does it actually work? Because I know the developers are dealing with different systems for images versus text.
Yeah, so for images, Claude uses a standard called C2PA, and that relies on verifiable cryptographic metadata.
Let me just stop you there for a second. Cryptographic metadata, for those of us who, aren't security researchers and just want to write an email, what does that actually look like in practice?
Sure. Think of C2PA like a digital shipping label firmly taped to the outside of an image file. It tells you exactly where the file came from.
Right.
But because it sits on the outside, if you take a screenshot of that image, the shipping label just falls off.
Oh, got it. So it's fragile.
Exactly.
Uh-huh.
But text watermarking is fundamentally different. It relies on probabilistic statistical patterns woven directly into the structural fabric of the text itself.
Okay, let's unpack this. It's kind of like a rigged coin flip, right? Let's say the model is choosing between 2 synonyms that mean the exact same thing, like quick or fast.
Yeah, that's a good way to look at it.
The algorithm consistently weights the flip to pick a specific side, so it leaves a subtle mathematical pattern of word choices that looks completely normal to you, but is incredibly obvious to a tracking algorithm.
Right. And because that pattern is structurally embedded into the sentences, it actually survives basic copy and pasting, which leads us to the core problem for businesses.
The proofreading penalty.
Exactly. Because the system cannot measure the volume of human contribution.
Yeah, I saw a complaint in our sources from radio host Eric Erickson, pointing out that just having Claude fix a misplaced comma now flags his entire original manuscript.
Which is incredibly frustrating.
If a solo entrepreneur writes a complete business plan and simply uses Claude to tighten up the grammar, isn't it completely unreasonable that their original intellectual property gets flagged as AI generated?
It creates a massive false attribution trap.
Mm-hmm.
The scanner only labels the final output as, quote, may have been processed by Claude.
Right.
So it cannot distinguish between an AI generating a 10-page essay from scratch or simply spell checking a human's work. And what's fascinating here is some developers on Reddit are arguing that Anthropic's true motive isn't about user transparency at all.
Oh, really? What's the theory there?
That Anthropic is actually trying to protect their own future AI models from scraping the internet and training on AI-generated garbage.
Ah.
Yeah, the watermark is basically a way for them to filter their own future training data.
So they are protecting their own corporate pipeline while penalizing legitimate business workflows. It's really no wonder people are scrambling to break the tracking net.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, here's where it gets really interesting. The forums are full of creators running their text through paraphrasing tools like Quillbot, or literally taking screenshots of their drafts and retyping them by hand just to scrub the math out.
And that scrambling highlights severe security flaws in the entire concept of text watermarking. According to the research papers we reviewed, security researchers haven't just managed to strip the text watermark without degrading the content.
Yeah.
They actually figured out how to forge it.
Wait, how do you forge a statistical pattern?
By reverse engineering that rigged coin flip you mentioned earlier. Once hackers isolate which specific word choices Anthropic's algorithm favors, they can deliberately inject that exact mathematical pattern into entirely human-written text.
Wow, so the trust signal itself has become an attack surface.
Yeah.
Meaning someone could take your completely original human-written work, inject the pattern, and maliciously frame you as having used AI. So what does this all mean for you? Your daily productivity shortcuts now carry a permanent, invisible, and easily manipulated price tag.
Yep. If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's a system where honest businesses doing light editing get caught in a false positive trap.
Right.
While bad actors can simply strip the labels or weaponize them entirely.
Which leaves us with this final thought. If digital tools can now permanently brand your work, and those digital watermarks can be easily forged to falsely accuse human writers, will the ultimate premium status for a small business soon require completely offline, verifiably analog creation? Something for you to mull over as you jump into your work today.
So that's Claude's watermarking rollout, a signal that's supposed to prove AI use, but can't tell authorship from a light edit, survives copy-paste, and can already be stripped by anyone motivated enough to try. If you build on Claude, don't treat this as your compliance box checked. You still own your own disclosure. If that was useful, smash like, comment which side you're on, transparency win or compliance theater, and hit subscribe so tomorrow's episode lands in your feed. Catch you next time.